Okay, so before we get into more news, I wanted to go back to Brandy and Monica just to answer your question about whether it was an added date because of what happened with Brandy. So I spoke to Black Promoters Collective, who are the promoters around this tour, and they said that it wasn't added because of what happened with Brandy. It was already added prior to Brandy in that first tour stop and her not being able to finish because of the demand there.
Yeah,
tickets sold out, right?
Yeah, because of the demand there, they added that, and they added a few other dates in other places as well too, because of the demand. And I did ask them because when Maya performed yesterday, there was such a huge response to it. Of course, anytime you see Maya anywhere, but people want her as a part of the tour, and so I asked, were there conversations on that now, because Money Long, which is who Maya stepped up for, mentioned that she had pneumonia, which is why she had to step away. So I was wondering if there was going to be more dates where we could see Maya, and they say as of right now, no. They go back on stage on the 29th in Detroit, and as of right now, Money Long is supposed to be well and be there, but if not, it's not off the table, and the people love Maya, and they say they felt the response and they hear the fans.
That's not fair to compare Money Long to Maya, though. And the reason I say it's not fair is because you already have a nostalgic tour, right? Because you got Monica, you got Brandy, you got Kelly Rowland. So the people that are coming there are probably people that are into that nostalgia, that era. So when you put up Maya on there over Money Long, of course they're going to vibrate with Maya more.
I feel like, too, there was conversations because Coco Jones is on this tour as well, too, and she has been doing
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she's been doing it. She's only on certain dates. She's been doing a great job on the dates where she showed up. But they were having, the conversations around that, too. Like, why do we have to get the R&B singers from various times? Why not just everybody from one era? And it's like you want to do that because you want to build out a full show and have openers and all the things, but it's kind of, you can't compare the two, so you gotta let the younger girls get on stage and put in their work as well too. So I just wanted to answer that question for you.
Thanks, Lo.
Now in other news, we should have this in now. Kamala Harris is talking about whether or not she will be running for president again, and surprisingly she gave us a positive update. Let's take a listen.
Of your baby nieces, Amara and Leela, when are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you?
Possibly.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done. I have lived my entire career a life of service, and it's in my bones. And there are many ways to serve. I have not decided yet what I will do in the future beyond what I am doing right now.
But you've been very clear that it's a possibility you might run again to become president. And in my experience interviewing politicians, when someone says I'm not done, it means they are thinking seriously about running. But when you look at the bookies' odds, they put you as an outsider, even behind Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Is that underestimating you?
I think there are all kinds of polls that will tell you a variety of things. I've never listened to polls.
Did she say the bookie odds?
She did.
That sounds crazy.
Jess, you complimented me on these orchards. I walked in this morning and our producer, what's that called?
Orchids.
Yes, orchids. Yeah, somebody bought this orchid. Is it an orchid or orchids?
It's all right. Just get through it. We know you're struggling.
Well, our producer Eddie bought this orchid in for me, and when I read the card, these are from Kamala Harris.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes. Orchids are really, really lovely.
It's former Vice President Kamala Harris, please.
I said former Vice President. Well, I didn't say that, but yes.
We thought you were going to read the card. You opened the card. No, it's personal.
But that's an amazing. You get orchids when somebody is special to you. Orchid is not like an ordinary flower.
Let me Google that. See what.
Can you move the orchid in front of Jess's face because the camera shines right on Jess?
I
can't see it.
You know what?
I can't see it.
You know what?
Thank you.
Well, So this has been Kamala's. Dang, Jess. You was helping them through it too.
I was.
Orchids symbolize luxury, love, and beauty.
Yes.
Yes.
And they last for a long time. They live for a long time. Yes.
Yeah, so this was Kamala speaking with BBC. And the reason, it's Kamala Harris, so of course it's going to pick up, but people are picking this up as her strongest answer to date on whether she will run for president or not because of the possibly. So there is that. But
she said she's not done.
Exactly. Nice. Now, in other news, I'm going to take it back to the HBCU homecoming vibes. And we know I saw Kamala Harris, too, posting over the weekend and shouting out Howard University, where she was a student because of the homecoming feeling. Now, Ari Fletcher, who is Moneybagg Yo's girlfriend and influencer online, she posted something that started a conversation. She says, "Why are grown adults at college homecoming? Is that normal? I'm genuinely asking because I didn't go to a big college that did stuff like that, but it seems so off. I thought that was for the kids in school. I thought that was an event for the kids in school." So she doesn't understand why alumni attend homecoming.
You know what could be interesting about that? If she would have just left it at, is that normal?
Is
and
that
then
normal?
let somebody answer as opposed to giving her opinion.
Because she did say, I'm genuinely asking.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, people were very offended, and she came back and responded.
I know they went crazy on Facebook.
Of course.
I know the alumni was like, how dare you? Who is this young girl?
They probably was on the yard stepping to some money bag, just because. So she had to come back and say, y'all offended because I made y'all feel old. I was just asking. Big and mad, literally. So, yeah, people got upset because they're like, first of all, we're allowed to be here age-wise. It's nothing unnormal about that. And secondly, if you don't know, you should ask somebody before you put that out there. People are just...
Yeah. They were mad because she sound crazy, not because they're old. And if she's ever been to a homecoming, I'm sure she's been booked for a lot of them. There's so many different age groups when it comes to homecoming. And like me and Charlamagne was saying behind the scenes, the reason a lot of these schools are open, a reason a lot of these students get scholarships
because
is because
alumni.
Yeah.
If they're paying their dues.
If they're paying their dues, they're making sure that those schools stay afloat. So
But
that is a lot of the reason why even the NIL deals with a lot of these HBCUs where players are able to get some money. That is the reason why.
But I will say, the events that she hosts during homecoming, if any at all, would be for the younger crowd. She would not be. That's probably why she.
But alumni probably pays for it. Alumni
Yep.
probably pays for it.
Right, which is something that she needs to
It's
know.
a learning lesson, though.
It is,
And not in a negative way. I think that HBCU culture, college campus culture, is unless you experience it, you don't know everything. There's nothing wrong with her
But
asking.
it's just
question.
not HBCU culture. This is all colleges.
Yeah.
In most, you could talk Harvard, you could talk St. John's. It doesn't matter. The alumni is usually what funds that school to stay afloat.
Well, Ari will be back on the campus, and she will now understand.
That's a good lesson, though.
When she see the,
you
you know what I mean?
Down like that.
Yeah.
The alumni events look like they be more fire, but I'm 47, so don't listen to me. But the alumni events look like they be more fire any goddamn way.
That's such a great time.
People, they dress up, they get it, man. Them older women, them seasoned women be dropping it low.
Yes,
you can tell they ain't dropping down
and they be out
there
there
in a
in
while.
their prairie and just looking beautiful. Envy took me to Hampton for my first time ever over the weekend.
Dope.
They had set up like sections. Like, Jess, you could go and get bottle service like on the football field. And it was like multiple different sponsored ones. I've never seen a setup like
That
that.
sounds very grown up, very alumni.
It don't take nothing to impress a young girl, any. They had sections. They had bottle service.
my God.
They never had that.
At homecoming, you just be out in the yard with your rat cup, and I never seen. It was like soup. The buffet was laid out. It was a great setup.
Food and drinks. That's all it takes.
I took her through the process of where the students party to where the 20-year-olds party to the 30s to the 40s to the 50s. I took her to the process so she can see everything.
No, she came
And we
here
had a good time.
excited. She was saying like Hampton was one of the best homecomings that she'd ever went to. She didn't even want to go.
That was dope.
She
We
didn't
went-
want to leave Hampton, is what she said.
Now it was dope, but then we went to Norfolk State after because she was hosting at Norfolk State, so I went
An
with her to Norfolk
amazing
State.
time in Norfolk State.
And that was
Shout out
dope,
to
too.
the Alumni Fest.
Yes.
Lloyd performed, and people were so excited to see Envy. They love you guys. Like, people always ask me about you guys whenever I'm somewhere. So shout out to homecomings and all the things, and shout out to Ari. We'll see her at somewhere next year, homecoming wise.
Well, that is the latest with Loren. Let's get to the mix.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?